Welcome back to the Blue Review. Clinton Yates, Greg Bergman, always here and always sponsored by Los Angeles International Airport, where changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. Clinton Yates, you're going to be at LAX tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm coming back from Omaha on Saturday night, so I will be flying the friendly skies into my favorite airport in America. So let's do it.
All right, well, you're going to come in just in time because the Dodgers are playing a very, very big series against the Houston Astros. And now, while it's not your typical Dodger-Houston matchup, it still is very hated. And they're coming to Dodger Stadium, so there's going to be lots and lots of boos. But it's also a little bit weird, too, because there's a lot of rookie pitchers going.
Yeah, got Emmett Sheehan going in his second start for the Dodgers. Bobby Miller is going to start as well. And the Astros are starting 3 rookies on their side as well. So as much as we want to talk about interleague, potential World Series preview, I do think that it shows both teams are in sort of a weird spot in terms of what their staffs are doing. Now, Sheehan, whose first start I admittedly did not see, relying on rookies on the mound is one of those things that I believe a little bit more in than relying on rookies in the field. I mean, young arms are young arms. And if they can get through the matchups, well, then, you've got a shot. But it'll be very interesting to see how this goes because you're right. First of all 3 of these games will be on national television. 2 on Fox, 1 on ESPN, which I think adds, I'm not going to say a big deal, but it adds an element of eyeballs that I think affects guys who are young when they're playing. And so, look, am I going to be super mad if the Dodgers get swept by the Astros? Not necessarily, but I do think.
Whoa, sweep. What are we talking about? Sweep.
Why? But the reason we're talking about it is because when they went into when San Francisco came into town, they got swept as well. So, and the Astros,
that was like a very rare thing to happen to the Dodgers, but keep going.
Again,
right.
But it happened 2 weeks ago or a week ago. So my point is that if you're dealing with rookies, you just never know when somebody might blow up or somebody comes back down to earth. Bobby Miller's obviously been fantastic. I think it's his, 5th, 6th start now at this point.
Something about that.
You just don't know. And so my point is that if the wheels do fall off, I do think that you can point to it and say, well, from a staff standpoint, we didn't have the horses we expect to have. But if they do well, you say, all right, you can beat the Astros, you can limit them. Well, then you probably got a place on this team.
Yeah, so Emmett Sheehan actually, he had a really good start, obviously. He didn't give up a hit. He did give up a couple walks, so he wasn't perfect, but right. He was really, really good, and he came out firing right away. He got saved a little bit from Mookie in the outfield, but for the most part, he's got really, really good stuff. And Double-A is one of those places where it's usually meant for the pitchers are better in Double-A and the hitters are better in Triple-A. Now, right. Why that is, maybe you can answer that better than I can because I feel like the better hitters should be going up against the better pitchers. I don't know. That's just a thing for me.
I mean, yeah, basically, if you're in Double-A, it means that you've got big league stuff. You just haven't made it up yet. Triple-A is typically you're still trying to prove that or you're moving back down. That's pretty much how that works. So, for guys to come up from Tulsa is not – listen, you can talk about Oklahoma City. They've been banging people out left and right. I mean, but guys coming up from Tulsa and Triple-A, the difference is not really that big in my opinion.
No, especially for pitchers. Pitchers tend to come up more from Double-A and hitters tend to come more from Triple-A. Just kind of how it all works out. But he was really good, so I'm excited to see him and what he does again. I mean, Bobby Miller, I actually thought Bobby Miller didn't have a terrible start. I know that sounds weird because he gave up a bunch of runs, but through the first 4 1/3 innings, he was strolling right through again. I mean, it was something like a 23 inning scoreless streak, something along those lines. And so, I mean, I think that it was just the wheels fell off a little bit and he never got back. I'm hoping that he makes an adjustment. And that's from what I've been hearing from guys like Oral Hershiser on the broadcast and other people that are saying that Bobby Miller is one of those dudes that is making adjustments right now in the middle of his starts, right when he first gets there. And I think that's a huge deal. So him coming out and throwing a good baseball makes a big difference. Now, what if he falls apart again? Then we have a different conversation and it goes into where you're thinking. I really do trust Gonsolin on Sunday. I think that's a good spot for him just to make sure that it doesn't get to your sweep that you're kind of throwing out there. Anything's possible, Clinton, but why are we
They're the Astros. They're good.
They're not the same team that they have been over the last few years.
And neither are the Dodgers. That's my point.
They have the same record essentially. One's 41-34, the other one's 41-33. Like it's a very similar team, and they're both going with rookie pitchers, like we were just talking about. So I think it could go either way here.
Last thing, how much booing do we actually expect? Do we expect loud, proud, and constant, or do we expect it just when certain guys come to the plate?
I think it's when certain guys come to the plate, and if you were on that team, then you are going to be booed relentlessly. We saw with Carlos Correa when he came in here. Every single time he came up to bat, he was booed relentlessly, and he didn't have a very good series either. So with Minnesota, and I loved it. It's great. Boo them every time. Every time they
Don't
come
boo
up,
Dusty,
you
though.
boo them.
Do not boo
No,
Dusty.
no.
Tremendous Dodger, as we know.
But yeah, tremendous Dodger, really great guy. It has nothing to do with Dusty. It's about the other guys on that team, the Bregmans and the freaking Altuves. Yeah, all right. Anyway.
I got to run to an airport.
All right, go get to LAX. See you later. All right, that'll do it for this week's Blue Review. We'll see you on Monday.